I often have founders and executives curious as to whether they should consider franchising their business as a way to scale it. As they begin to learn that franchising includes many types of businesses outside of the food and hospitality arena, their obvious question is to whether or not their business is franchisable. To build a successful franchise business, it is important to have systems that can be replicated and a business that somebody would want to invest in and run themselves. It has to have a track record of profitability proven out along with many of the other benefits we've previously discussed, such as a competitive model or niche in the market. I would encourage you to think through if your business has a proprietary element, a wealth of past marketing data a new owner would benefit from, a supply chain owners could tap into, national accounts or strategic relationships they could draft off of, or a support team at the corporate office that could help them get from point A to point Z faster than doing it on their own. What would make you stand out to future candidates from other franchise opportunities in the market? Don't compare yourself just to others in your industry, but other buying options a candidate would encounter. Similar to the point I brought up on serving franchises as a client vertical, if you decide to go the franchising route, I would strongly recommend that you have someone on your staff that has prior franchise experience, or you form a key partnership with someone that does. It's a good idea to bring someone on your team that does, or a key strategic partner that does, that really understands this franchisor-franchisee support dynamic. So, what are the benefits of franchising your business? Here are a few thoughts. The first benefit is that you're able to use other people's money to expand rather than having to borrow or raise capital on your own. Second, you get owners who know their local markets and have more skin in the game. As a business owner, you always want to have employees that act as owners. Now you actually can in a way. Third, you can get leverage over vendors through added volume. This can be in the traditional supply chain sense, or it can be with service providers such as marketing agencies or bookkeeping firms. Fourth, you're building toward a larger exit. The bottom line is private equity loves franchising because of the model behind it. I receive calls daily from private equity firms inquiring about emerging franchises that they could potentially acquire. Fifth, there's a neat altruistic element to franchising your business in that you're helping others successfully achieve their dreams of business ownership, and you're indirectly creating a lot of jobs along the way. So those are some of the positives of franchising. Now, what are the few possible downsides? Some would argue that by franchising, you may lose control of the brand. Theoretically, this is true. However, I believe that as long as you carefully lay it out in your FDD what the guardrails are and bring on good owners, this shouldn't be a huge concern. I would say a bigger area of caution going in is really grasping what it means to bring on owners that will build a business under your umbrella. This will require strong ongoing support, and you need to be ready for this. I joke that as a new franchisor, you'll wake up one day and realize you have kids across the country or the world who have high expectations of you. You'll need to keep them happy and playing well together. Now, let's touch on a few considerations and best practices. First, I would strongly encourage you to pay careful attention to your early franchisees. Don't jump at the first candidate showing interest in your opportunity. It is easy to get excited, such as when your first boyfriend or girlfriend expressed an interest in you. Selecting the right owners, especially out of the gate, paves the way for future growth long term. The early owners will set the tone for the culture and will make a huge impact on the type of owners who are attracted to you down the road. Their financial performance will be built into your item 19 of your FDD, and they will be the ones on the validation calls during the exploratory process. Vet these early pioneers well. You'll be very glad you did. Second, it is easy for new franchisors to get wrapped up in the time-consuming process of selling new locations. I believe it is wise for them to consider using an outsourced franchise sales group or OFS. There are a number of great groups across the country that do an awesome job of representing you and your team as if they were a member of it. They know franchise recruitment and best practices. Let them do the often unrewarding and time-draining work of taking candidates through the first few steps of the development process. You will still get involved and will make the ultimate call on a candidate. But using an OFS allows you to not enter the time-consuming exploration process too early, not until a candidate is truly serious. This approach allows you to focus your efforts on the important task of onboarding and supporting your newest owners and setting them up for success. Third, understand how you will make money. Many would-be franchisors zero in on the franchise fee and the potential royalty stream in addition to the exit multiple. However, it's important to understand how franchise economics really works, especially in the early days. The initial franchise fee will quickly get absorbed by sales and marketing expenses, most often. The ongoing royalty of 5 to 8% of owners' gross revenues can become meaningful over time. However, early on, oftentimes the royalty stream will largely be consumed in paying for your home office support teams. So, where does an attractive bottom line spring from in the early days? Well, I always encourage would-be franchisors to think through ways they can vertically integrate themselves. For instance, when I was a franchisor at Shelf Genie, we had a manufacturing plant that developed the wooden boxes, which became part of our customer solution for the pull-out cabinet shelving. We were able to take a healthy markup on the production of these custom boxes, and this contributed to a very strong bottom line. Now, not every business will have an obvious area for vertical integration like that, but be creative. An example could be marking up your advertising services. You're able to pass along part of the volume discount to the owners, but also keep a portion for your mothership. You just have to make sure that you disclose this in the FDD. There are a number of EO businesses today that are going through the franchising process as we speak, from commercial cleaning to alternative medicine to restaurants. We also just helped an EO chiropractic clinic begin their franchisor journey and look forward to seeing their growth. In conclusion, I'll say that franchising isn't the right path to scale every business. However, as more and more owners are waking up to the variety of industry types getting involved in franchising, as well as the benefits that franchising affords them, I'm seeing many more companies and founders at least consider the option of using franchising as a strategy to scale their business. For many businesses out there, it just makes sense.